Okay, not retiring.
Nope.
I think he's going to play somewhere.
Yep.
Where is it going to be?
Yeah, I think there's no chance he goes out like this. I actually think the only way he would retire is if the Bucs were to somehow win the Super Bowl, which they're not going to do. But I think that there is no chance Brady goes out at his lowest point. And this has been his worst professional season, even though he's still top 5 in the league in passing yards. He hasn't looked like himself. So I think we have to remind ourselves he wanted to keep playing football, and he did not want to do it for this team. He either because of the coaching change or he didn't seem to have a great relationship with Arians to begin with because he saw what was happening to the roster. He saw some writing on the wall for Tampa that Vegas didn't when they installed them with the highest projected win total in the league. So I think he is going to play next year, and I think there are 3 teams that need a quarterback that make a ton of sense, and we can show you Tom Brady with various facial expressions in each of the jerseys. I think the number 1 draft pick would be San Francisco, then there's the Jets, and then there's the Raiders. Let me explain all 3 of them quickly,
please.
Greg. The Niners, it's not just that. The Niners are moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously. Trey Lance hasn't shown us anything yet, and we'll see what Brock Purdy does. But because it's 2 guys on rookie contracts, they have no money allocated to the quarterback position next year. And Brady made, by his standards, a pretty big deal when they went to San Francisco and played in that game, about being at home, about his parents, about playing there. So it's not only that is a stacked, ready-to-win roster with the best left tackle of his generation, all the weapons. There's also some emotional attachment, and I think it'd be smart for him to stay in the NFC. The Jets are an awesome roster.
Okay.
Garrett Wilson is awesome.
Absolutely.
Breece Hall looked like he was going to be great, very good. Now he hurt himself. We'll see. I like Elijah Moore. The defense, Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, Quincy Williams. I like that roster. I like the coach. And maybe he wants to stick it to Belichick. I don't know that he does.
No.
But going to the Jets and going to that division would be intriguing. And then there's the Raiders, which has Devontae Adams, who's still great. Josh Jacobs, they might bring back. He's 1,500 yards this season. They would need to improve the offensive line. The opportunity there would be if they want to move on from Carr, he would be saying, okay, Mahomes and Herbert, the 2 young quarterbacks in the league, 2 of the young quarterbacks in this league, the guy in Mahomes and Herbert, an up-and-comer. I already beat one of you in a Super Bowl and in a playoff game before. I'm going to go there and take on the toughest challenge. Those 3 teams are ready to win right now, and I think with good quarterback play, any of those 3 teams could be in a Super Bowl.
Okay, I got one for you because I agree. I don't think the Jets are a fit for Brady.
Why?
Just because I don't think he would do that one.
Because they're the Jets.
Yes.
They're the Jets.
But the Bucs were the Bucs.
No, but it's different when you've had a rivalry with the team and you've been their nemesis and there's hate there. I understand it's business, but what do you think about the Dolphins? You didn't mention the Dolphins.
So I think the Dolphins, the only way that happens is if Tua were to stop playing football. I think I don't think Tua's going to retire. I know there's some speculation about that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Tua's done enough to where he gets at least another year in Miami. So I know that was their plan initially, but I don't think the Dolphins check the AFC East box as well. I don't think that's realistic because I think they're going to stick with Tua for at least another year.
Can I poo-poo the Raiders, unless you want to talk about the Raiders?
I actually do want to talk about the Raiders before you poo-poo them because I think that, for me, is number 1. Everybody's high on the 49ers. Everybody's high on the 49ers in their plug-and-play method.
Yeah.
But I think they actually feel like they can get by with developing guys instead of going to a Tom Brady. I understand what Tom Brady is and what he brings. But they got pieces that they feel like they can insert. The Raiders, however, you have Darren Waller at tight end that you just paid.
Hunter
you have
Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow. You have Devontae Adams. Yep. You have a running game that supports. You have all these right now pieces that nobody is able to really see because of what Derek Carr is not doing.
Yeah, I agree.
And defensively, they would improve. And you have Josh McDaniels there, who he already has a relationship with. So for me, that's intriguing.
The McDaniels thing is important.
It's very important.
And that's one of the reasons. But you don't think the Raiders or the Jets are possible?
Well, I don't think the Jets are possible because they're the Jets. The Raiders thing, the idea that he would want to take on Herbert and Mahomes, I think would be a fool's errand.
I don't think that it's about taking them on. I think when you look at the pieces, Tom Brady believes that obviously he's the GOAT. And those two young guys are Mahomes. Obviously, we know what he is.
Too scary.
Justin Herbert is a player as well. But when you have the right pieces, it does not matter.
Well, it matters against Mahomes.
It does not. They would beat up on each other, but they immediately, if Tom Brady were with the Raiders, with that roster, somebody who we know would get those guys the ball,
they'd be scary.
they would be
If you were to
yes.
climb Mount
With the
Everest,
running game, that's Tampa Bay all over again, minus the defense.
Yeah.
you climb the easiest side. The full part of his success in the AFC East was because nobody had a franchise quarterback. The reason why they're in first place right now is because there's no franchise quarterbacks he needs to go through.
This is true.
So he wants to, like, where can I win? And I'll give you a place you can win, although Josh Allen is a franchise quarterback. How about a little reunion? It's the most obvious one. Well, so first of all, don't roll your eyes because you just told me how important Josh McDaniels is. So if you're because there's some familiarity there. So there's familiarity with Belichick, and there's going to be familiarity with Bill O'Brien, who's going to come in and be the offensive coordinator. But I give you a list too. Here's 4 reasons, things that he really likes. First of all, a great defense. Every time he's won the Super Bowl, he's had a great defense. Secondly, an affinity for running. Right now, we're at 109 yards, still 40 more yards a game than the Bucs. Third, bunch of money coming. What was that little tweet bird? Oh, it was a Gronkowski thinking about coming back. And finally, the most important reason, everyone would be happy. Literally everyone. He would be happy. Greg, you would be a little bit happy. You would be a little bit happy. The earth would be back on its axis. Tom Brady back in
Here's
New
the
England.
problem. It's a self-defeating idea, though, because of what you said. His key to winning the AFC East
Josh Allen.
was it being bad. Right now, the Patriots are the worst team in the AFC East.
Yes.
The present and future. They're the worst. Okay, I don't think they're better than the Jets.
Okay, for the viewers, we're actually better than the Jets.
Okay, I don't believe you actually are. I think the Jets, when they have not had Zach Wilson playing, have been a very dangerous football team, and that they have been, now the Patriots have been held back by their quarterback as well, to be fair. But I think the Patriots right now, if you're Tom Brady, you're like, hold on a second. I was with a Patriots team in my last year there that didn't have dynamic weapons other than Julian Edelman, that had no receivers of note, no tight ends of note, and guess what? What, Wildes?
We got a lot of cap space. You're talking to DeAndre Hopkins the other day.
Okay, so the idea to go back to New England when he immediately became a better player from his last year in New England to his first 2 years in Tampa based on the weapons alone, I don't see that, and I think that is an increasingly difficult division. I think Mike McDaniel knows what he's doing. I think the Jets are a quarterback away from being an excellent team, and the Bills have now won it every single year since Tom Brady's been gone.
Ooh, almost got a Bills compliment out of you.
Well, they've won the division 3 years in a row. No, they're a really good team. Their quarterback stops turning the ball over. They could really
be excellent. Okay, if the playoffs started today, which would be bizarre because it's Tuesday in December, the Bucs would host the Cowboys. Eagles would have the bye. The Bucs would host a game even though they're below 500. Greg, now the Bucs can't run the ball, but do you think Brady could take the Bucs on a little playoff run here?
Yesterday, I was emphatic when I said no, absolutely not.
Oh, you're changing. I told you, it's that
Today,
magic of that seat.
It's the same thing.
Oh,
absolutely
Mr. Consistency.
not. Like, no. Like, again, we're talking about a guy in potential landing spots that has pieces around them to plug and play and go win. The same concept that he saw when he went to Tampa Bay that worked. It's the recipe for his success at this stage in his career. The Bucs just aren't that right now. They have no running game. You've been talking about it. They're running more, but they can't run.
Yeah, they don't run.
They can't throw the ball effectively. Matter of fact, you know what else they can't really do? They can't score.
No, it's not.
They can't. Defensively, they have not been what we thought that they were going to be all year long.
I think the defense has been pretty good.
They have not been what they were.
No, certainly not.
And
they're not a top
for me,
three defense.
When I see them play now, they've shown flashes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to completely
first half against Cincinnati was
last 2 minutes of the game.
And the first half against Cincinnati was pretty good.
But offensively, they don't have what it takes.
Okay.
So I think Greg's right. However, follow me down this path for just a moment. I'm going to, let's say the playoff bracket stays like this, meaning Eagles are the 1 seed, Vikings and San Francisco are the 2 and the 3. I'm going to give the Vikings and San Francisco wins, okay? They both win their playoff game.
Okay.
I think the winner of Bucs-Cowboys, either one of them, goes to Philadelphia and beats the Eagles. I think the winner of that game goes to the NFC Championship game. We talked about the Cowboys side of it yesterday, about why I think the Cowboys, with no Lane Johnson for the Eagles, with Jalen coming off either missed a month or banged up, they can beat them. For the Bucs, again, we are operating in a world where the following has happened. For this to happen, the Bucs win this weekend to win the division. If the Bucs win this weekend and win the division, they can give themselves a bye week in Week 18. They can be 8-8 and rest everybody and say, you know what? Because it locks up the division. By winning this week, they lock up the division. They will be locked into the 4th spot. If they then beat Dallas, you don't think there will be a true psychological edge
that's what I think.
going into that game in Philadelphia? A Philadelphia team that will have been off, that will be seeing the same team that washed them out last year, that by definition will be coming off its best game of the season because they would have needed it to beat the Dallas Cowboys. So I think, and again, I understand Philadelphia is already very mad at me. Now I'm saying the Cowboys or the Bucs would beat you. I apologize for that. It's just how I see this thing falling. Yep. I think the winner of Bucs-Cowboys is going to the NFC Championship.
I like that. I think there's a little Tiger effect with Brady. Once he lines up, people start making mistakes.
Yes.
Just because they're in their own head. The Rams played poorly. Saints played poorly.
Refs start throwing mystical flags.
There is definitely, yes.
So remember, you know what I thought was when Brock Purdy was up by 35, and in the post-game press conference, like, I know who was on the other sideline. Like, bro, you're up 35-0.
Well, you saw it in the playoffs last year. The Rams stopped being able to handle snaps.
They did.
That team was good enough to win the Super Bowl. And for about 20 minutes, without the Bucs playing well, just by virtue of whatever that Tom Brady effect is, they started shooting themselves in the foot as much as they possibly could to where they could have lost that football game.
You know what? This segment was pretty good because of Tom Brady.
Okay.
It just, there's no end to his magic.
I thought,
coming up next, the dirtiest player in the league. Clutch your pearls, everyone. We're talking about Mac Jones falling down. Oh, my goodness gracious. No one was injured.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.